Hey, um, I wanted to make a video to share with everyone something that I've learned about losing weight. Um, now, like finding a balance between diet and exercise. And um, in the past, I had some success because I would just fast. I would have nothing but water and raw baby spinach for on my work days. And then on the weekend when I would socialize, I would eat normal food. And then a couple of times I really carried that diet through the weekend. So I like did the thing for 2 weeks. It was hard, very hard, and it's hard to stick to. But I managed to go from 260 pounds to about 220 is where I like plateaued at. I couldn't lose any more weight, and then I think I lost interest, and because it's so difficult. And the main problem I had with that is you can't live like that. I mean, you can do that and lose some weight, but I want something that I can live with. And um, when I'm not controlling what I eat, I mean, I'll probably have like a king size candy bar every day. I'm probably spending about $30 a day, $20 to $30 a day in the gas station on gas station food, and it's I get up to be about 260 pounds, and just the worst shape of my life. And so I tried the GLP-1, and I've been on Zepbound for I want to say about 3 months, and I've gotten back down to 220 and plateaued again at the same weight for some reason. But with the Zepbound, I'm able to. I decided like while I'm on this medication, I'm going to um, get healthier eating habits, and I decided to try fasting again, but to do it in a different way. And I mean, you may say, "Well, you're on uh, Zepbound. Of course you can fast because you have the appetite control." And it's not true because I was strong enough to have the appetite control without the Zepbound when I was eating only spinach. And it was the spinach was just something to put into my stomach to stop me from being hungry because without that I would have ate absolutely nothing for 5 days straight. And that I just can't you can't live like that. So how do we get the same or nearly the same and without and have something we can live with like a way of life? So I decided to try fasting but a different approach. I said, okay, well, while I'm on this drug, I'm going to try to build a healthier eating habit. And I started out by doing two 24-hour fasts a week on work days, of course, because on the weekend is when you're social, and food is a social thing, and you're gonna want to eat. So if if you decide to do your fast on a Saturday, but you end up with your friends on a Saturday, and then you end up eating, then you didn't fast. So that's another important thing, another key to being successful is to be honest with yourself. Did you do it or did you not? Did you stick to it or not? And the way I do it is, I absolutely have nothing but water and black coffee for the time period. And you can't have gray areas. You can't have, well, I'll have this because it won't make you fat, but and then eventually you'll turn that into not fasting at all. So and that's the whole the reason why I believe it's successful is because you have to be honest with yourself and you have to make sure you have absolutely nothing in that time but water, black coffee, and also the vitamins that I take. But and you may ask, well, why black coffee? Is because it has the caffeine in it that will soothe your hunger when it starts getting tough, because it does. It gets tough. So you have some black coffee and it'll soothe the hunger. Um, and then you may say, well, I don't like black coffee. This is not about pleasing your palate. If you observe the size of your garments, you will see that your palate has experienced plenty of pleasure. So when it comes time to fast, it's not about pleasing your palate. And I started out probably a month and a half ago on 2 24-hour fasts per week. And then I stepped them up to 36-hour fasts. Okay. So, like, for example, Sunday evening, I'll have dinner. I work nights. I'll go to work and have nothing, and come home and have nothing. Get up, have no breakfast for Monday, and no dinner on Monday. But then when I get off work Tuesday morning, I'll have dinner then. So that's 36 hours of fasting. Same thing on Wednesday evening. I have dinner, and I'll go to work, and then I'll have nothing when I get home. Then I'll wake up and have nothing, no breakfast, and then no dinner, and then come back and have dinner after I get off of work on Thursday morning. Wait, oh yeah, Wednesday night, and then Friday morning. Wednesday night to Friday morning would be another 36-hour fast. So now what has happened is my weight is like plateaued a little bit below 220 again. For some reason, that 220 pounds is a little barrier for me. I'm probably like 215 pounds now. I haven't seen 210 yet. So, and I'm still on the Zeb bound, but it, I've plateaued. And I looked it up and they said, yeah, you'll plateau, and what you got to do is you got to step up your exercise. I'm not exercising at all. So, what I intend to do is to add another 24-hour fast. I'm going to call it a non-dedicated fast, because like my two 36-hour fasts are dedicated, and I want to try to build these eating habits and keep them the rest of my life. And that's what I'm trying to find, something that I can do the rest of my life. And so if I add another 24-hour non-dedicated fast, it'll be on a Saturday. So if there's nothing special going on a Saturday, like we're not visiting with family or whatever, then I'll fast. But families around, there's holidays or whatever, and people want to have to eat, go out to eat, then I'll eat. And this is another thing about this method is you can eat whatever you want. You can have all your stuff, and then you're more prone to cut down on the sweets and stuff, because of course your stomach shrinks, so you don't eat such large portions anymore. You get full on smaller portions of food, and some other positive notes. Your colon has time to clean itself out because it's not constantly being fed food, so it has time to focus on what's left, the leftovers, and it's good for your colon. The black coffee is like one of the best things you can ever have for your liver. And I feel like this is something that I can maintain for my whole life. If I add this another extra 24-hour fast, so that's 2 36-hour fasts and a 24-hour fast. If you do the math, you will see that it's 4 days out of the week that I don't eat. Won't touch food. And I'm pretty sure I'll start losing weight again once I start doing that. But you gotta understand that when you sleep, you fast. And it's also a way to find the balance between diet and exercise. Yeah. Finding the balance between diet and exercise. Like balancing what you do and compared to what you eat. And so if you're doing these fasts and you find you're not losing weight, it's because you're not exercising enough or you're eating too much in comparison to what you do. So you can use the same method to fast even more to start losing weight again. So at 220 pounds, I'm still 70 pounds overweight. And I may not get all the way down to the 150 that I'm supposed to weigh, but I would like to get a lot closer. So I'm going to step up my fasts and do it for more hours. And then maybe once I get closer to what I'm supposed to be weighing, then I'll back off a little bit. But another thing is if I start exercising, then I can eat more because of course I'm burning more calories. But the key to it is to be honest with yourself. You gotta be dedicated. You gotta start out small. I would suggest someone new to it start out with like 2 16-hour fasts per week. And it's going to be a challenge, and that's good. And then once it starts to get easy, once it gets easy, you need to step it up. Step it up to 24 hours. Watch your weight, and then that's going to get easy too. You'd be surprised, like, wow, I just went 24 hours without eating anything, and it was easy. It's like, well, then it's time to step it up. Step it up to, I started at 24, and then I stepped up to 36. But also, I'm on GLP-1 drugs, so that makes it a lot easier. But it can still be done without the drugs because I went 5 days straight eating just baby spinach, without the drugs. So you can't. I don't believe anyone needs those drugs to do a fast. And what this does, it gives you the power to regulate how much you eat, because trying to control how much you put on your plate is very difficult, because it just doesn't work. Not for me. I end up loading my plate up, especially when my stomach is stretched out and I'm overeating as it is. So what fasting does, it gives me the control to say, okay, at this time, I do not eat absolutely nothing. And that time passes, I didn't eat anything, and then, okay, now I can eat. And I'm more reluctant to eating large portions because now my stomach is shrank. I can eat a healthier portion. And then once it comes time to fast again, it's I eat, I stick to it. I'm honest with myself. I just won't touch food no matter what. I gotta be stubborn, and and sometimes when it gets hard, I'll go have some black coffee, and it's working, And this looks like something that I can stick with, because it's not unrealistic to where I'm eating nothing but baby spinach for 5 days a week. But yeah, that works, but you can't live like that. It's not. You're eventually going to lose interest or get off track. With this, you are able to watch your weight loss and your body weight and determine, truly gauge how much you're eating in comparison to how much weight you're losing. Maybe fast less if you're happy with your weight loss. Like you can really balance it out by dictating what times you eat and what times you don't eat, and that way that all that excess food just never gets into your mouth, because you said, well, I'm not going to eat it this time. You look at it and you're like, well, I allowing myself half of my lifetime to eat. So uh, it's it's really good. But you like any kind of diet, you have to have a strong will, and you have to be honest with yourself. You know, you can't let your desire to eat something, or you can't let it throw you off. You have to disregard your love for food, and it's kind of hard because I like to cook, but I mean, when I look at the size of my clothes and my garments, my palate has seen enough pleasure. It's time to start taking care of myself, and I'm not getting any younger. I guess that's all I have. I hope it helps people. You know, I hope someone can take advice from me.